Okay, y'all. This time it was not me. It was Streamyard. I wrote it down. It said, not I wrote it down, I took a picture. It said, traffic is unexpectedly high right now. We're creating more resources to handle it. Please wait 30 to 60 seconds. Look, I be on CP time, but this time it was not me. Like the video as the intro plays, we got a lot to get into because everybody was fighting. Everybody was fighting. Wait. Okay, here we go.
I was listening to Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense.
It makes sense.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
It makes sense.
Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh man,
And they lanolated.
Man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, jerky.
Oh, you see that?
when I saw that, all I could think about was
coming? No, he's not.
that was all I could think about. The legs being lanolated. Anyway, okay, y'all. So it was crazy. I got to court late. I had to make that video. Some of you guys saw the video where I warned other content creators, look, we can't really be out here just exposing people with reckless abandon because we feel like as content creators, we don't have to like follow the same like journalistic stuff. But at the end of the day, exposing Mia, exposing Jane, it doesn't move the needle. Do your content without it. You can check out that video if you want to see what I had to say. It was a short video today. But anyway, when I arrived at court, like an hour late, court had not even started. The people were already outside. I think it was, I hope I get it right. It's Queen Amadeus. She was already telling the people as soon as I got to court. That court hadn't even started yet. But anyway, let me kind of give you guys why court had not started. It was one sentence that set off this whole firestorm. Basically, Jane had said in a message to herself, like she feels like 98% of her time she's working. The defense hated that. The defense was extremely mad. So they brought in the defense, the prosecution, Jane's attorney, the judge, the court reporter. That poor court reporter looked like she didn't seen better days. Getting up and moving that machine looked like it took a lot out of her. It was bad. Additionally, I think they are talking about, because they said the deputy, they wanted to show some more things to the deputy. So I stayed after court one day and they specifically said that it does not matter if the person is here or not. If you have media outlets choosing to expose people that are supposed to be private witnesses, they are going to investigate you. They are going to investigate you. In addition, you really do not want to mess with somebody who is already maybe on the verge of something. They're already in therapy. You gotta kind of have to let that go. It doesn't even make sense. Like literally, if you expose Mia, what does that do? Now you just know her face, but she's not even in the industry. But anyway, yeah, I can. The good thing about content creators is we can be messy and bring you the information, but that's not the kind of information we should be bringing you. But okay, so they were mad about this. I'm telling you, you know, Comey, she is one of my favorites. Comey Comey and Tinny was going at it, but Comey definitely was not having it. Comey was giving.
Don't buck, because if I nut, then we're going to have a problem.
Comey is with it. Now, Tinny, she's sneaky. Comey is direct. and she was arguing the hell out of her case. After they had done this whole long thing, the judge comes back and he says, does anybody have anything else? And he's saying it like, please don't stand up. Please don't stand up. Basically, Tinny has been peppering the jury with words like redirected and domestic violence. And we'll get into the domestic violence thing. You are saying that the case is domestic violence, but when you're saying that you're saying that to the witness and you're wanting the witness to agree that this is domestic violence, that's a problem. And Comey was all over it. Basically, she said Tinny is slick and she's peppering the jury with words like redirected, domestic violence. Shapiro stands up and says, if I might say one thing. Now, keep in mind, it's been an hour. Maybe an hour and 20 minutes at this point. We want to get started. They wanted to get done with Jane. As soon as Shapiro stands up, who I told you she has been working on the appeal. She's been quietly working on appeal. Comey does this in her seat. Now Comey is just like her daddy, straight by the book. For Comey to slump over, hair just dangling, you know she was over it. And unlike Diddy's team, Comey is a one-person team. I'm sure all these women are overachievers, but Comey is the lead for a reason. Comey don't play. Comey don't play. It was... Comey said, you had her effed up. Now, I did notice one thing. You can tell which attorneys Diddy is happy with. He was shitting and grinning with Nicole Westmoreland, my other favorite, who gave it to the two women who are actively in lawsuits with him. And also there's a dude named Driscoll. He looks like a young upstart. He's there to argue case law. And he ended up winning one of the battles. And you could see that Diddy was extremely happy with him as well. The defense made her, the defense made her look like she was changing her story for a financial payout. And that's why Comey was pissed. So that was, I never expected them to give like a full hour. Let me see. Okay, there was a lot more bailiffs. People are leaking voice notes. And so when I checked in, they checked my bag. They even checked through my Mentos can. They had 4 different bailiffs in the room with us. That has never happened. So, and they told us that they were now watching us from the video monitor. Oh, let me see. I have no idea why Streamyard is messing up like that. Okay. So the judge said this was interesting. The defense got exhibits from the public. So I guess people were turning in stuff to the defense about Mia. So this was just annoying. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Oh, now we're starting. It says, I'm saying all this with lightheartedness. I'm going through some sort of trauma. I tried to be a good partner. I went along with all those things when I wanted it to be over. This is what Jane is saying. They're going over more exhibits. She sent another message that said, I know I was consenting. So then they said there were no hotel nights between Twin 26 and Cassie's lawsuit. She says no. You got him a portable TV screen. She says yes, and a portable monitor, LG. She said, so you got him this so you could watch your homemade adult videos. She said yes. You saw Cassie's lawsuit become public November 2023. She says yes. Saw the settlement amount. She says yes. After you saw both of those, you spoke to Diddy. She says yes. You stood your ground because you needed to work on yourself. She says yes. So then they show a message from Diddy. It says, can you please take some quiet time and read what I'm writing? I poured my heart out to you. Our friendship means so much to me. I love you. She says he was vulnerable in these conversations. She says yes towards the end, but he was probably on ecstasy. So there's a little change in Jane, and you'll see it subtly until bam. She's chugging along. Eventually, the prosecution pulls something that she could not recover from. But at this point, you can see that she's not really feeling. Jane is not feeling the defense. Is very much given.
Just a toxic trick.
She's trying. When she started cursing at the end, I was like, ooh, this put a lot into perspective. She really wasn't feeling.
Just a toxic trick.
Yeah, she does have low self-esteem. Survivor, how you stick to the facts, get to the dirty detail. Love how you stick to the facts and get to the dirty details. Thank you, Survivor. And Robbie, thank you so much for the super sticker. But yeah, y'all definitely hit the like button. Why did this television just turn on? That's some scurry shit. Why did this television just turn on? That's crazy. But you'll start to see she is not supposed to expound, but she did say, yes, we were vulnerable, but he was on ecstasy. How was he? How was he? She said relationships had started to deteriorate. He was depressed, or we were depressed. I was angry about Young Miami. So keep in mind, guys, this is after the video had dropped. I mean, after Cassie's lawsuit, and she knew how much Cassie had gotten and the allegations in the lawsuit. So she says the relationship had started to deteriorate. She was depressed. She had anger about Young Miami. I put, but she's not mentioning anything about him beating Cassie. I'm starting to think that maybe she's not a girl's girl at all, similar to Drea. You guys can remember after the Rihanna incident, Drea was there. Drea was the relationship right after Rihanna and kind of felt like her sole goal was to lift him up. There was no worry or concern about the other person because now she was the one with him. And strangely enough, I believe that was around the same time that maybe Drea had also had some dealings with Diddy. It's a very incestuous world. It's a very, very incestuous world. Diddy wasn't aware you felt this way. She says he was aware. So Tinny started over talking her. And then Comey says, objection. Now, before the judge could say any mother thing, Comey says, I would ask the witness to be allowed to finish her questions. And she's saying it very pointedly. And then Tinny responds, I would like to ask the witness to just answer the question. And this is where you can tell that it was probably really heated when things got taken offline for that hour and a half. It was.
Okay, win a case. Yeah. Well, honey, you stay out of a case because you got 24 cases in Fulton right now. Your husband does. Oh, yeah, you got 24. Cynthia Bailey doesn't have any.
That's what it was giving.
Okay, win a case. Yeah. Well, honey, you stay out of a case because you got 24 cases in Fulton right now. Your husband does. Oh, yeah, you got 24.
and Comey is very, very measured. She's just like her daddy. She was not pleased. So the judge did say, please answer the questions with just yes or no if you can. So she again says, he would tell you he hated that you felt this way. She says, yes. Did you love that? She says, yes. Did you believe him? She said, at the time. You wanted more communication? She says, yeah. So they show it. It's an exhibit is an audio message. So now, so that we in the courtroom can't hear it, they're putting the audio message via earphones. That's what I'm saying. They are content creators. It does not make any sense for you to put these people's names out, because what will eventually happen is other content creators won't be allowed in. They cannot stop the press. Mind you, I told you guys that the press had some extremely high-powered attorney that they all collectively paid for come in and argue that the press should be allowed to see the sex tapes. They cannot. They can say that you can't have your devices in and all that kind of stuff, but they cannot. They have to allow a certain amount of the public. What we don't want is for them to just say F it. Like, you can't just be living with like reckless abandon when you're dealing with things that are court ordered. That doesn't it doesn't even make sense. Don't get us who are in the courtroom kicked out. Like, stop it. So they're listening to these audio messages. They read some of it. It said, so we should just focus. What would make you feel better? We need to move on. I don't want to be in a relationship like this. I don't want you to feel like you wasted your life with me. So then she asked, so he said, so what's the solution? She says, yes. Did he often say that? Yes. I don't want to fight. How do we move on? She says, yes. So in June, Jane responds, I tolerated and dimmed myself for you. I looked on a lot of the, I participated in a lot of these hotel nights for you. So then he FaceTimed her. And said, charge me. I don't want any loose ends. So remember, this is after the lawsuit. So he's now reaching out to his girlfriends, his concubines, all of these people to tie up loose ends. But he's still giving her some of these love bombs. So she's going along with it. But I don't think Jane was this dumb. So Tinny says, well, you hadn't planned on suing him. She says, no. She says, but you did say that you wanted $450,000 to move on, 2 years of rent. And she says, yes. It was 2 years of rent, $450,000, and there was something else, something about $100,000. I don't know. We've gone over that a couple days ago. You said that you would hurt yourself. She says, yes. Did Diddy try to stop you? She says, yes. Did you have an attorney? She says, no. So you had no friends to speak to about this relationship? She said, no, I had a couple. There were just two friends that you confided in? She says, yes. One of your friends said that you set the tone for the relationship. What else were you to expect? She says, yes. January 2024. You had a great time in Paris? She says, yes. Told your friend you needed a Saudi prince? She says, yes. So then I marked that. They really are painting her as a gold digger. Similar to what Capricorn said about Cassie, where Cassie was like, after I date Diddy, who else am I going to date? Jay-Z's already taken. They're painting her out to be a gold digger. Did you miss him for the months you left? She says, yes. So there were no rent threats on that month? She says, no. Now, this is 2024. Of course, there would not be any rent threats after the first lawsuit. Of course, he's going to pussyfoot around all of these people in order to keep everything going, to keep them happy, and so that he can pay out as little as possible. He's tying up loose ends. Of course, he's not going to be threatening her with rent. So they say, you were texting Bear in 2024 to come over. She says yes. Did he come over? She says no. But he still gave you $9,000. She says yes. Didn't ask you to promote? She says no. The Vegas trip Diddy didn't know about? She says yes. So you were on the plane with the rapper and his girlfriend? She says yes. So now that's where we get to guessing. Also, one of the things that everybody feels like they were talking about was Diddy's team wanted to out that rapper and his girlfriend, and there was a fight over this. So who do we think the rapper is? They said that the rapper was iconic. The rapper had worked with Diddy, and the rapper was in the lifestyle. So a lot of people feel like the rapper in question is Kanye. But I was like, threw a curveball in, and I was like, it could have been Future and one of his girls. Other people thought maybe T.I. because of T.I. and Tiny and the lifestyle that they lead. Shit. Maybe it was Candy and Ty. I don't know. Just playing. I don't know Candy's type. Doubt it was Gucci Mane, because I don't remember him ever working with Diddy, but y'all can put in the chat who you think it might have been. French Montana. Is Future iconic? We had that argument too. It doesn't take anything to be iconic. Everybody can be a rapper. Okay, so some of y'all are saying Kanye, T.I. We don't really know. So it's all just a guess. It's all just a guess. Could it have been Chris Brown? Absolutely. Chris Brown. Let me see. When is Chris Brown's birthday? May. I think this was in January. So we don't know, but they were arguing about it. A lot of people felt Kanye. It definitely was not Jay-Z. They have to have their own plane. I'm thinking it might have been. I mean, Kanye is a good guess because Kanye is in that lifestyle. What's up, BJ? What's up, Rabbit? Hey, Mims. Thanks for the super chat. Robbie, thank you for all that you do. You go above and beyond. Thank you. On Lee, thank you for the super chat. What's up, BJ? Been waiting all day for the video. I appreciate that. You guys know that BJ and Rabbit go through all of the tweets in real time. They put in the work. Why must Jane remain in that particular rented house? Make it make sense to remain there. I think it's in a good neighborhood. It's gated. But Jane, we'll skip a little bit. Jane sometimes makes about like $50,000. Oh, it must be like activated like this. There must be a motion sensor for this television. Jane in a good month can make $50,000 on OnlyFans, so she could pay for her own stuff. And Only says, did she ever think her friend that dated him previously may have passed her off on him, knowing he had a dark side? I think that girl moved on to her baller, and that was it. I don't think that they care that much. I think she cared in the moment while she thought she was still going to use Diddy. I think that she cared when her friend Jane was flirting with her man in front of her. But I don't think that how do I say this? There's a reason that Chris Brown has a baby with Karrueche's former best friend. It's a very incestuous small world, dealing with very, very, very rich men, or in Nicki's case, rich women, and you can buy whoever you want, like Meek Mill. Meek Mill might have been a pass around. Meek Mill then moved on to, was it The Billionaire? Was it? Let me not say that, because who knows who's watching. I don't want to get in trouble again. You get the point. You all get the point. All of these people are pass arounds, and you can be a pass around man. Look at Common. anybody could be a pass around. Everybody just wants to get to the bag. Everybody, you know, whatever. So I don't fault Jane for living. This is her lifestyle. There is a market for beautiful women like her to find and date very, very rich men. I get it. But she could definitely pay for her own house. Her child goes to school in that neighborhood, so maybe she doesn't want to move the child. I don't know. I can't speak for her. But if she, you know, was getting free rent, why not? Why not? Dory says, OF is FL spelled backwards. Absolutely. CC, thank you for the super sticker. Annette, thank you for the super sticker. Michelle, great work, Mims. Thank you. And Renee, thank you for being a member for 7 months. It's Ye and Bianca, freaks all of them. Well, y'all know that Bianca was technically an employee. We don't really know what her real background is, but she was an employee. And according to the lawsuit that Kanye has from his other assistant, there were multiple girls that Kanye was testing out. So he would make them an employee. This particular assistant made $1 million. And some of her job duties were to go to the hotel when he was playing with himself and cut on Netflix for him. So Bianca, probably no different. She probably got a title. And then Bianca was the one who was willing to go the furthest. And now she's the wife. She looked closest to Kim anyway. That, you know, that's what it is. Yo, Wash, thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh, okay. Kanye's birthday is January 5th. Well, there you go. Tracy Bryce said it, not me. Kanye wife's birthday is the 5th of January. There you go. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. So let's move on. So Diddy was close to this rapper. She says yes. Top of the music industry and close to Diddy. She says yes. Recorded with Diddy and an icon. She says yes. And you saw Anton at this rapper's dinner. And you had a brief moment with him. She says yes. You gave him a hug. She says yes. What happened next? We went to a play, dinner, a strip club, and then the hotel. Walked into the hotel room and Anton was having sex with someone and everyone was watching. It was the Encore Hotel, another trick hotel. Very, very nice. One of the first nice hotels that I went to. Not with a trick. I didn't belong there. A friend of mine was like, just pretend like you belong. And we didn't look like we had money. This particular hotel at that point had sculptures in the pool and nobody was in the pool. Everybody was just lounging around, like smizing and trying to look pretty and stuff like that. And when we got there, they were like, you need to have an armband and what room are you in? And my homie was like, do you know who we are? And played that card and we got in. Encore, Trick Hotel. I'm putting y'all on game. I'm putting y'all up on game. Encore, the one in Miami, the Edition, St. Regis. I'm putting y'all up on game. I didn't belong. I didn't have no money. I was just going there because they had a huge pineapple with Asian food in it. I don't remember. It was like pineapple fried rice. That's why I went. I couldn't afford to go to the Encore. Iced tea and cocoa. That's a good one. That is a good one. No, Antoine is not a fake name. Anyway, okay. Let me. Not I'm putting y'all on the trick hotels. Watch, I don't get any endorsements from a hotel now because only. Oh Lord, let me. Okay. Ray J's birthday is in January. Can he? Well, I mean, he does have some money. He got that $50 or $75 million. Wait. I love y'all. We know, or we allegedly, that Ray J's wife would have probably had to have been in this lifestyle because because she was dating Floyd. So maybe it could have been Ray J. I don't know if they worked on music together, but I remember I was the one that found a link in a lawsuit where Diddy was an investor in Ray. Y'all used to put in the work. I forgot about that. I found a lawsuit that alleged that Diddy was a private investor in Ray J's stuff. Ray J isn't iconic. Don't get him mad at me again, y'all. I just got back under the radar with Ray J. Don't get him mad at me again. He moved on to somebody else, and I was happy. Funny. No, I'm not telling that story. That's okay. I'm not saying that. But yeah, he was mad at me the other day. So you saw the rapper at dinner. That just threw me all the way off. Yeah, don't get Ray J mad at me again. I take it back. I take it back. Before we get into this, so y'all know that I've been saying that Janice has been looking like she was going to a cowboy garter. Well, she changed it up today. Janice was in her best Foxy Cleopatra wig. Janice is the one who's having a moment, not Diddy, not the boys. Janice is the one coming up there looking like a superstar every day. So she's the one to look out for.